I posted few YouTubes about Koan. Here's another one. This is the one I got from Daisetsu Suzuki, not directly, but from the book I read. And in there he was talking about happiness doesn't depend on anything. That's what he said. And I don't know the reason why he was talking about. Perhaps something to do with cause and effect. If you do something, you achieve it. And if you do something to achieve that, then you achieve this. And then higher and higher level at the end, there's nothing to achieve. That's another koan. What is that state of nothing to achieve? But going back to this statement, happiness that doesn't depend on anything. Can you find happiness that doesn't depend on anything? That was kind of profound, and I was very much interested. That was perhaps 30-some years ago. And koan shouldn't be resolved and shared with others. That's the principal way, because the whole idea is not sort of stealing the answer from someone else. But some of the Zen monks do that, because it just forces you to get to the this gate. You cannot impasse. So they go struggle, and for that they may try to open up some books to figure out what can be the answer. So if I say anything, I think you shouldn't believe what I say makes sense. But I thought I'll talk about it. Happiness that doesn't depend on anything. If I were to answer, and there's Roshi sitting in front of me, what would I say? What is happiness that doesn't depend on anything? I may say it's just pure awareness or no mind. And then that's the answer from my point of view. Some of those who may have listened to my video, you may know the reason why I say it. But if you haven't, what did I say? No mind or awareness, right? If you have no mind, there's no happiness, I guess, to speak of. But if that no mind is a state of being aware of what's going on in the universe, that's pretty much ultimate of what you may get. And that's a state of enlightenment. And if you ask me if I'm enlightened, I have to pause and think. Every now and then, I am, but the rest of the time, I'm not. That will be my answer. But if I'm not, I may still have that sense of I am somewhere back in my mind. So that's a secure sense and peaceful sense that I get. And that may have achieved the purpose of Zen, according to Daisetsu Suzuki, because he said the aim of Zen is a peace in your mind. So like I said, I may have peace in mind, and happiness don't depend on fame, money, whatever, but just be. It sounds very stupid, but if I may say so, I like it. But as Dogen says, I may not remember exact word what he says, even if you attain something, in the fall there are autumn leaves scattered around, so it just doesn't stay there. And you may feel something about the winter coming, so there's a sense of certain desire that may pop up. So enlightenment is a state or the moment, but with the mind that we have to play with in dealing with the society's event and all of that make us to be away from that state of being, but occupied in the mind. So how do you navigate that? That's the eternal Koan as human being, as far as I'm concerned. But for now, that will be my answer. Now, before I finish, I wonder why I thought about this. I was playing a pickleball, and after that I was thinking about it. I've been preparing for the course in the college, so maybe that's part of the reason. Usually I don't think things like that. But I have learned, if you teach, you learn a lot. I wrote a book and I learned a lot in writing the book. I consulted, gave advices, mostly asking questions than answering, but that also gave me more insight. Life is a continuous learning process. As human beings, we use the word, logic, to live, communicate. And there's a good reason why we do that. So thinking, sharing, communicating has to be a part of our life. And for that reason, I think it's good to talk about these things. But again, it is for each person to figure out the passage of life and the peace and happiness, prosperity in your turn. Not to be given by someone else, self-reliance, self-managing. Why? Because at the root of who we are, there is that source, the laws of the universe, whatever you call it, or purpose of the universe, or temme, order from heaven. And if we can connect to that, that will be a wonderful thing to happen in living life. So have a happy life. Best wishes.